Well, as I'm sure you're all aware, yesterday was Heritage Day. And I must admit I was a trifle annoyed, well more than a trifle annoyed, because it's a day that seems to have been taken over by carnival commercialism as National Braai Day, Chisanyama Day. And that's a great pity, because I happen to think that Heritage Day is very important, the whole concept of heritage. Because heritage is so much more than wors and flag waving. Heritage is, well, everything around us. It's our built environment, our natural environment, our social, our political, our economic systems. And we need really, in order to get to know where we are, to know these things, we need also to understand the past. Because only if we understand the past do we know where we are now, and we can really even hope to plan sensibly for the future. Instead, what did we get? We got this vague sort of thing about unity and diversity, we're all in the same boat. It brought to mind actually this whole thing, because it was a sort of nationalistic fervor surrounding it, it brought to mind that statement attributed to Samuel Johnson, that patriotism is the last refuge of the scoundrel. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe you think I'm going over the top, but nonetheless, you see, our main heritage that affects everyone here is the extraordinary gap between rich and poor. Everyone's in the same boat, they say. This is true, we are in the same boat, except if we're going to extend that nautical analogy, we've got a tiny minority who happen to luxuriate in the first-class suites. Another slightly larger but very tiny minority who take over the first-class cabins. And the rest, well, the rest are in the bowels of the ship of state, fighting like mad to get up to the second and third class decks, which are managed by people who are paid by the people in the first class. That's the way I see it. And this is something that we have to actually understand. Now, obviously, a holiday, for those who happen to have a job, is always something to celebrate. But I don't think we should celebrate this differentiation, the true diversity that we have between rich and poor. That's something we have to look at. It's also good, yes, if the weather's fine, take out the braai. But wave which flag? I mean, we don't own braaiing, the whole concept. I mean, the Australians and the New Zealanders call it a barbie, the Americans call it the full barbecue. So what do? Wave all their flags? I think that's a nonsense, and I think it does a disservice to the idea of heritage. So perhaps we should really look at the real diversity, the gross inequality within our country, within the world, if you like, and within the continent. That's what we should really be looking at. And that's what I'm going to be looking at in my column tomorrow, which you'll be able to read on this platform, Fin24, and on Sunday in print in the business section of City Press. I'm going to be looking at this whole concept of heritage, a bit of patriotism. I think there's a lot of hypocrisy involved in what we've seen. And the whole idea of Chisanyama or Braai Day, I'm sorry, does not grab me at all. So, you may think I'm off the wall, you may think I'm right. Let me know. Contact us on editor@fin24.com. That's editor@fin24.com. And for this week, that's all from me. Cheers.